Happy New Year everybody. So this is the first video in year 2022. So we will be talking about chapter numbering in Microsoft Word. And in this year or this series of videos, I will be focusing on small tricks that could probably increase our work efficiency. So remember to subscribe to this channel to get the notification when I upload any videos in the future. So I'm targeting to upload a video every week of probably 5 minutes videos every week or every 2 weeks. So subscribe to get the notifications. Now we move on to this, how do we do a chapter numbering in Microsoft Word. So in Microsoft Word here, you can see that probably sometimes you have like some contents with some labeling like this, and then of course we will be looking at trying to achieve something like you have automatic numbering. For example, if we were to update some of the titles, right? So because this one is repeated in the previous line, so we probably want to remove this one. But then you can see that the chapter numbering here is not updated automatically. So this is because I typed this thing out manually. So so we want to get something like this, and then so that this becomes 2.1 and then the next one becomes 3, right? So we want to get this thing updated automatically. And how do we get this thing done is that probably you want to use a bullet list. Okay, so what you can do here is that of course we start up the magnifier, right? So you can see when you basically go to this bullet point here on home tab, and then you can click at this all these bullet points, and then you can see something like this. So you want to go to this the third, let me zoom in, the third buttons here, right? And then you can see you have a few lists here, and then probably move to the bottom. You want to define a new multi-level list. Okay, so click at this one. Let me zoom out a little bit. Right, so you can see this window pop up, and then what you want to do here is that of course you can see you have at most 9 levels to modify, and what you want to do is basically just to get the formatting for the number. So for example, the level 1, you want to have the word chapter, so you can modify it here and then type in like chapter, and then of course you want to just remove the bracket. Okay, so there are certain things that you can actually play around with all these kind of settings, and then of course you can click at the more here. You can see let me zoom out. You can see this window pop up, and then you can see follow number by a space, so that you get a space. Observe this part here, so that you get a space in between the word and the numbering. Okay, so you may also want to link this level to a style, which is the heading 1. Okay, so reason why we want to link it to heading 1 is that so that later when you insert table of contents, you get table of contents automatically inserted as well, or automatically generated. Okay, so we just do something simple, right? So the second level you want to link to, like for example heading 2, and then of course followed by a space, and you may want to change it to like chapter again, depending on what you want in the numbering, right? So if let's say you want to get what you have here without the word chapter, so you can just remove this one. And then of course you may not want this thing to be A, right? So you may want to change this thing a little bit, like something like this. So you can also include number from level 1, so that you get 1.1 and things like that. Okay, so or you want to change it to like something like this, 1.1, right? So you may want to get like 1.1. Okay, so once you have get the setting done, you think that okay, this is what you want, like for probably you want to continue to modify more levels, but over here we only focus on these 2. Okay, then you can click OK, so you will have a new list here. Okay, then let me just change this thing a little bit. Okay, right, so you can delete the word chapter 1, you see, and then I just want to change this thing to heading 1. So you can go to the home tab and you can see from the styles here, there is like heading 1. So because we have modified this heading 1, so it becomes something like this. And then of course, you don't have to now, you don't have to manually type in like the 2.1, 2.2 and so on, right? So this one you may also want to delete a little bit first. Just change it back to normal. Okay, right, so let me remove all these things. Okay, right, so these two you want to change it to like level 2, heading 2 as well, right? So you see the numberings are automatics, and then you can use heading 1, and then this one is heading 2, and then this is like heading 1 again, right? So now once you have this one, of course you can continue to type what you have, right? So over here, like for example, to have what, to have chapter numbering in Microsoft Word, we define a new multi-level list, right? So you can type in your contents and so on, and then of course the next one will be like equation on example numbering, right? So sometimes you may want to have like example 1, and then you type in the example and then dot dot dot, and then example 2 again, right? So sometimes this kind of situation is that when you want to, like for example, probably you want to cut it in this way. Let me just, okay, right? So you may want to just cut it in this way, and then sometimes you want to have something like this, reordering your examples or your equations, and then you have to change the numbering over here. Probably you don't want to do this thing manually, so we will focus at this thing in the next video, right? So this is basically what we have in this video, a short video to focus or to emphasize on how do we do this chapter numbering. Of course, you may have you may probably see, okay, then what about the what is that called, table of content, right? So you may want to insert a page break, okay, so that I have a new page in front. Then you can actually insert a table of contents under references tab, and then on the left hand side click like see which one you want, right? So which style, and you can see the contents here. Okay, now we focus on one more thing, we illustrate one more thing. Let's say now you want to have a new subtopic, right? So line break versus wrap text in Microsoft Excel, or you may also want to see like how to replace line break to a specific characters. Okay, so of course you can again change this thing to heading 2, right? So you see the numbering is automatic, and so on. You can add new chapters in between and so on. And of course sometimes you want to refresh it, like for example this one, you can see that there is no 2.2 here. You may want to right click and then click update field, okay, and then update entire table, so you get this table. Okay, so that will be the end of this video. Thank you for watching. I see you again in the next video.